how goes it? I am Dr. J.J. Shepard. Most people know me as a Boombox guy and all that kind of good stuff. I'll give like a really quick introduction because I really want to get to these games. So I work at the University of South Carolina as an instructor of computer science. My PhD was in serious video games, so I design games, serious games for like health rehabilitation and all that kind of good stuff. Every time I give talks, I swear, it's always got to be about the most serious thing they have to talk about. So I have been so stoked to like give a talk that is just like fun and talk about like something I've been really passionate about. I mean, hell, I've got a PhD in basically making games, so I love games and all kinds of weirdos. Oh, got questions? Yeah.
Yes. This might not be related to the field, but
yeah.
I heard a rumor like a year ago that the University of South Carolina had a Magical Girl study or something. It was like a study about Magical Girl series.
I believe there was one. It was, oh shoot. I forget what college that's in, but yeah, they actually had studies on that. It isn't related to like what I actually do, but yeah. Also, well, if I'm going to give a couple of plugs, I do teach introductory computer science at the University of South Carolina, also video game design and programming, and a couple of different classes here and there. Oh yeah, and also I'm the faculty advisor of the Carolina Gamers Club. It's our focus to actually, get people networked in the industry. Actually, 2 weeks ago, we had a speaker come in from Activision. She was a former HR director from like 2008 to 2012, so she gave a really awesome talk. And then a month ago, we had another speaker. She was from like Warner Brother Games and stuff like that, and that was really cool. Actually, she was Warner Brother and also Blizzard. She worked for Blizzard for a little bit. One of our first speakers, and this guy, he worked for Sony. And he was talking about, I got involved with Sony around 1997, and they were really talking about this game that was going to be really good. So the first game I got to work on was Final Fantasy VII. I'm like, are you kidding me? That was your first game? Anyway, so we pull in people. We also send people to the Game Developers Conference out in San Francisco and do all that kind of good stuff. I'm also like the co-founder of SCGDC, South Carolina Game Developers Coalition. It's our golden life, or life as a nonprofit, to basically use games to basically promote the art form, promote the industry here, make South Carolina a destination, because North Carolina is a pretty good destination. Georgia, why not here? So we teach game design, game development, all that kind of stuff, help focus on that. And we're still new, so if y'all are interested in that, I guess I should have put up a slide or whatever it said, go to scgdc.org. But maybe I'll do that a little later. If y'all want like contact and cards and that kind of stuff, and y'all want to help out, it's my goal to make this place better by using video games, just like I've helped better some people's lives through video games, and just really stoked to do this. But anyway, so that's who I am. Also, I used to carry a boombox around Columbia and stuff like that, and people either loved me or hated me. There was really no in between. So yeah, I guess that's my little biography. So let's get straight into some of these games. And like I said, like a lot of my talks are on the serious side, so this time I really want to have fun with this one. And I picked out 4 kind of like odd games, just kind of here and there. Now, I think some of you probably know a few of these. Maybe you don't know a couple of them, but I also want to go into the history a little bit. And let me pause really quick so I can grab my notes. Because I'm a nerd, and I have notes on everything.
Y'all are nerds.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Just so I don't forget anything. So let's actually talk about like the first game. Now, one of the things that some of these games I picked out were just because they were so strange, and I think every one of them has not actually made it to America in one form or another when it was released. Some of them actually eventually did. So let me talk about this one, because this one had such cool mechanics that it was insane. I will go ahead and apologize. My Japanese is miserable, and I'm going to mispronounce so many names. And I'm just going to apologize from the beginning with that one. But this one is Umahara Kawase.
You know it?
Huh?
I know that. She has a picture on it, right?
Yes, it's that game. Yeah, this game was actually released in 1994, and it's kind of like heralded as like the one and only indie game that was ever released for the Super Famicom. It was this guy's ambition, Kiyoshi Saki actually, and he formed this company called TNN. And if you can read it up there, it's a very strange company name. Think about needs of notice for human being. This is their one and only game that they ever made at that time. Later on, it was actually sold to a couple of other companies, et cetera, et cetera. But it was basically published by this. They released it, et cetera, et cetera. And see, this is the part where I need some people to help me. Who wants to actually play this game? Because I want to get to that. So I saw your hand first, so come on up. Grab the that's the Super Nintendo controller, but whatever. Let me go ahead and turn it on. Make sure we got juice. And switch it over here. And let me go ahead and test this really quick.
This is my first time pulling one of these, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see. Looks like we got power. Let's see. Let's see if I get this working.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. We're in the same car.
Come on, Betsy, I believe in you.
You got it.
All right, let me check something really quick. I may just have to re-add the screen capture. Should take a second. Every time I do a live tech demo, I know something's going to go wrong at least once. So let's go ahead and re-add this. This should be.
That's the curse of what?
Oh yeah, it exactly is. All right. But yeah, I'll go ahead and actually start talking about the game a little bit. So that should be this should be on. Or it's not. Someone else is having some problems. All right, let's try this.
Windows,
So one of the things about this game, actually, someone, you mentioned it earlier, is the mechanics for it are so odd. It feels like it should be like a normal platforming game, but the thing is, it's predicated on this grappling system because you actually use a fishing rod to move around the environment, and it really pushed like the limits when it came to the Super Famicom. There's certain levels that they had to scale back the level design only because it was breaking it. Awesome. Let's see. Let's do the old trick. You never know.
Yeah, the red prong has very sensitive prongs, if I remember right.
Yeah. This one's being really iffy too.
Maybe if I have it more.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. Did I plug the right thing in the thing? Yeah, that's plugged in. That's plugged in. That's
Alright,
really
we'll
odd.
get it.
You want if I come here?
Yeah, go ahead. Like I said, just trying to ask this. That's in, that's over here, that's plugged into here. Yeah, go ahead. I'll give it a try. But anyway, once we ever get this thing set up and ready to go, you'll actually see what I'm talking about in terms of the mechanics. It is very much like a puzzle-based game. It's a puzzle platformer, which is also just kind of an odd thing. See if the NES game works. Yeah, just switch it to NES and maybe we'll get some juice on that. No, it doesn't look like we're getting anything right now. Make sure I plug the right thing in the right things.
Do you think that platform might be still there?
No, I mean, that's just S video. I didn't set up S video. Huh. That's weird.
Play again this video.
May as well. This big.
Get the whole party moved out.
Yeah, we'll figure out how to get this working in a second. Because I was testing it out this afternoon in between meetings. And it was working fine.
Yeah, power per second. Really hard to get out.
Maybe we need to try taking out that one. Maybe that will do something.
No, well, yeah, just go with it. It's fine. Nothing. Let me go ahead and just restart XSplit real quick. Also, if you're curious about the background, I actually run this weird game tournament called Nuts. It's a game tournament where it happens once a month. It's at Art Bar, all that kind of good stuff. But it basically turns traditional game tournaments on their head by, we don't care if you're good at one game, we want to see if you're good at every game. So it's all random, and the games are selected, for the most part, randomly from Atari 2600 up until like indie Steam games from like last year. So we have a lot of like various games that we test out and that kind of stuff, and it's pretty fun. But actually, the white blocks are screen regions.
That sounds awesome.
It's a lot of fun. I wish we would have synced up a little better this year. All right.
This is just Noshicon. Raise your hands if you are familiar with Noshicon and its technical issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, I don't know if how new you are to this, but this is like this is pretty common.
Yeah, I mean, I was here year one. I used to be a part of Nashi years and years ago. But unfortunately, like going for the PhD and stuff, it killed it. Well, anyway, this is a really great game. I'm just going to move on to another one, just because, whatever. This thing is acting kind of odd. It could also be like this, and you know what? I'm going to actually go to another game completely. I'll come back to this. If we get these working, I do want y'all to check these out because they're just so very odd. Oh, by the way, since the other one didn't work, the next one I was going to go over, let's go ahead and switch this back. Next one I was going to talk about was Sweet Home.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet Home is great. Like, it is one of those great games, and actually I have basically the translated cards, just so you know everybody can actually sit through and play this one. I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but here's the thing. This is actually a lot of times heralded as the prototype when it comes to survival horrors, and one of the lead designers for this game later on made Resident Evil. A lot of his ideas actually came from this game, and it's fantastic. Like, it's one of those games, and I can even tell you, it's like the reason why it wasn't released in America, because Nintendo of America has always been really strict when it comes to certain guidelines, like gore level, religious imagery, and this had a lot of all of that. So it was never released in America. So let's continue on, and I'm going to come back to these and see what's going on with them, because it's probably something really simple that I'm messing up. Now this one, here's the thing. I titled this whole talk like Forgotten Games. These types of games aren't really forgotten, but they're also really not known about, like especially in America. And I just like it because this really kind of took off. This was one of the first games that started the whole like peripheral craze. So the weird controllers and that kind of stuff where you wanted to actually have the arcade experience, you wanted to have the arcade controllers. And it is called Densha Go. It is a train simulator. And yes,
You gotta be kidding me.
this is fantastic.
You gotta be kidding
Oh,
me.
and just wait till you see the controller.
The spirit tracks before spirit tracks.
Ready? 5, 2, 1. What the hell is that?
Yeah, this is the controller for Densha Go. It does emulate the arcade controller, which is basically, this is, you're riding a subway. This is the thing. Like, take a look in the middle of it, and what does that look like?
It looks like a cup holder.
It is a cup holder. Seriously, they modeled it straight after the actual thing. Since you didn't get to play the last game, you want to try the train simulator? All right. All right, let's go ahead and switch these out and see. All right. Let's see if this one will work. Hopefully this works, unless something just went weird with my capture device. If that's the case, that'd be really
If
sad.
I only brought my Pepsi up here, then I could use this cup holder.
Let's see if it works for it. Let me go get Hey, who has a soda or something we could borrow for a second? For what?
All right, let's see if we can get this one to capture.
Alright. It doesn't fit.
Oh, boo.
That fails with a cup holder.
They knew this fact. Worst controller ever. Cup holder doesn't work.
Because it's an American size. That's why it doesn't fit the
Whoops.
I'm not sure if Japanese sodas are any different.
Actually, they tend to be small.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That can explain why I don't drink Japanese sodas.
Yeah.
Thank you for the information.
You're welcome.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, that is on, but we're getting something weird with the capture device. Hold on. All right. Yeah, not available, all right. Maybe just need a hard refresh.
Yeah.
We'll retry that.
When technology doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's try this real quick. Well, I might just run out to my car and grab a monitor really quick.
Right.
If you do that, I can say whatever.
All right,
Do it, Sugar Man.
let's remove this.
Since we're having problems with technical stuff, let's try stand-up comedy. What's the deal with airline food?
If anyone guessed I was going to say that, please raise your hand. 'Cause that's like joke number one. Anything.
The problem with airline food is that it's too.
Airline.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does anyone actually know what the punchline to that joke is?
No.
I've always heard the beginning.
I think the punchline is the first part of the joke.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think it was something to do with how bad the airline food is, because it kind of has a reputation, especially when that joke was made that the airline food was known to be bad inland, which
Yeah.
there's actually a reason for that.
Really?
The altitude changes flavor of foods.
Really?
Yes. They now have to formulate food to be able to be cooked in planes so that it actually will taste correct and properly.
Huh.
The more you know.
The more you know. NBC logo flies by.
With the star and the rainbow.
Yes.
Because your teacher did not teach you anything.
Correct. That is very true. The teacher did not teach you anything, and that's probably why you're here. Probably why you're here.
Video games teach you more.
That's true. That's what all my research is based on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Nick.
Sorry, we're not trying to do
It
your
might be this thing. No, that's absolutely fine. You're helping me out. It's great. It has to be this thing.
Here's something that will blow your mind. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's been blowing everyone's mind recently, or at least as far as I've seen.
While we try to figure that out, what are the games we're going to mention?
Well, okay. You know what? I'll go ahead and go through all of them so I can actually sit up here and try to break some stuff to see if I can get it. But yeah, the train game was one of them, and I was saving the best for last.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
LSD.
I
Yeah, I have to bring this game. This is absolutely one of my favorite games of all time. I'll just go ahead and describe it just really quickly. That way when we get to it, and I swear I'm going to fix this thing even if I have to bash it against a wall. Weird enough, fun story. One of the events I was actually doing the very first game, Tournament Nuts, at, I had equipment that failed actually on the trip there. I went outside and just like slammed one of these adapters against a wall. Then it worked. I don't know why. So anyway, LSD is commonly referred to as an avant-garde game. It's a game that like really kind of pushes the boundaries. It's like, is it really a game? By the way, no, it is not based on the drug whatsoever. The thing is, there's several actual, like in the title of the game, they give many different versions of what LSD stands for, like living the sacred dream, or different things like that. But the whole game is based on this one person's dream journal. So the whole idea is you just go around this game experiencing this person's dreams that he had to write about for like over 10 years or something like that. And that's it. Like there's no adversaries, there's no real goals. You're just walking around experiencing things. And anything that you touch in the environment will, sometimes it'll do something, sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll take you to a different part of the dream. Other times, like the different locations, there's only a couple of locations, maybe like 6 or 7 different locations, but then they'll just start changing the sound effects for the location. The music is procedurally generated. Even the textures are just randomly kind of put together. Sometimes it looks normal, sometimes it gets stranger and stranger as you go. I've honestly been playing this game for about 10 years, and there's still new stuff that will just come up because it's so random. It's so bizarre, but it's one of those games, it's just like, you have to experience this thing to really get what they were talking about. And hopefully, we will get to experience it, but give me like 5 minutes, I'm gonna like test this thing out really quick, and hopefully we can get this settled.
Sure. Do you want this chair or?
Either or, I just need.
Here you go.
Sorry.
Sorry. Here's a question. Are you guys familiar with the Shin Megami Tensei series?
Yes.
Of course.
Well, that didn't come to the States till, when was, I think the first game that ever came out for that entire series was Jack Brothers, a side-scrolling game.
Train game! I got it. I always do a hard refresh. Okay, let's do some Denshin Go.
Okay.
And then, you know, we'll do LSD next, just because I got this thing working. Let's not press our luck.
That's probably true.
How'd you control it?
Oh, it'll kind of tell you how good is your Japanese. You should be able to read, it's fine. If I can figure it out, it's okay. But actually, I will go over a little bit of the controls. Let's go ahead and pop this in. My handy dandy Japanese PlayStation 1 that I bought from Software Seconds a long time ago.
Really?
So, yeah, actually.
Like, how do you know it's Japanese versus English?
Oh, actually, if you look at the serial number on the back and it says J right beside the serial number, that is the Japanese version.
So all that's different is just one letter on a serial number.
Yep, that's it. And well, also technically, their power level runs at 120 volts AC. Ours runs at 120, but it's within that wiggle room that it shouldn't catch on fire. So we should
Wait,
be good.
what?
No, we should be good. Don't worry.
I'm sorry. Wait, what?
No, it's fine. If it does catch on fire, I'll let it run. That seems good.
Should we also got professionals here, or at least I?
Right.
I'm very concerned when you say catch on fire.
No, it shouldn't catch on fire. That's the thing.
Very marginal. Metaphorical catching fire.
Right.
Metaphorically.
We will see.
He's on fire.
I don't even think it's turning on now.
No, it's on. Now it's on.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really hard to see. The
Okay.
lights are washing out.
Alright.
Come on, Denshin Go. I played you earlier. Just to make sure you were.
Why?
Straight.
Again, as I was saying a second ago, the first game in the Shin Megami Tensei series that got brought to the States was Jack Brothers for the Virtual Boy.
Okay.
Yeah. It's also the...
Did game come out before that?
Huh?
Isn't that on Game Boy?
Yeah. No. Those, the only one that was released was like the second, I think it was like a secondary version, like the second game in the series, which got released like Game Boy Color.
We fixed one problem and we get another.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did not solve any problems actually, to be fair.
What do you think?
We got a catcher to display.
All right, here we go. All right, I think I know what's going on with this one. I may have to just do hard resets every single time.
That
There you
sounds
go.
fun.
Come on, Betsy, I believe in you. All right, let's do the hard reset. It worked last time, maybe it'll work this time.
Yep.
Okay, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi.
Mississippi 5, Mississippi
Go.
Go.
Mississippi Bowl.
We're sorry, we're part of your panel.
No, that's cool. Ah, hey,
Okay, let's do this.
all right,
No,
yeah, let's make sure this thing works.
Yeah, we've screwed up so many times and we appreciate you being patient. Actually, he just appreciates you being patient.
I really do.
We're in the car, y'all.
We're not even related to this guy. We don't know.
No, I don't know your names.
Oh,
Hey, Abby, how is it?
I'm Dan, by the way.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. Let's see. I do have audio, but it's coming through the speakers. I don't know if there's a way to hook it to the sound system. But,
Yeah, it'll be fine. Just talk.
Yeah.
okay, I'll just
I
talk over
highly
top.
doubt the game's gonna say anything
Oh, it's I
important.
mean, let's look at this sweet train in action. Oh, gotta love these full motion videos. Okay, so if you hit start, Yeah, just go ahead and hit start. Okay, the first one is training. The second one, if you take the little lever thingy and just like bump it down once and press start, this is the actual game. And it will kind of tell you how to play it. Yeah, you're going to have to play with that one. And hit start again. Nice train sound. Also, the C button on there honks the horn. So if I could, here's the thing. That stick is actually the accelerator. I'm sorry, the pulley downy stick. The turny stick is your brakes. So it kind of gives you like what you're supposed to do. And if you'll put this in the neutral position, that means you have no brakes on. If you have to do the emergency brake, you have to pull it to the red. But hopefully you won't kill anybody. So we'll see if you do or you don't. So yeah, you'll start off by basically pulling the accelerator down and making sure that the brakes are off, and you just kind of just cruise along. But this game, it wasn't actually that well received in the series, even though they created so many versions. It wasn't well received because the thing is, they judge you on how well you drive the train, which comes down to, can you stop it within a certain number of centimeters at the next train stop? It is
so surprised.
Yeah, it's so difficult. Go ahead and hit start and just, I don't know, give it a try. Like, you'll figure it out pretty quick.
Alright.
Don't they still have the arcade cabinet?
They do have the arcade cabinets. I was actually going to mention that. Yes.
If I remember correctly, there's actually one of the series in here where that thing comes with a microphone.
Yes.
So you have to like say you're entering this station.
Yes, there is that version of it as well. This is actually the very first version. That one is Digidego Final. It was the last one that they released that actually has this ridiculous arcade cabinet that simulates a train conductor's cabinet or whatever. But the other cool thing was this. This game is produced by Taito. And I'm not sure, anybody know any games that was also released by Taito?
Bust a Move.
Bust Move was a good one. But here's a quick little list of like, I don't know, these are some obscure games. Space Invaders, Arkanoid, Bubble Bobble, and Double Dragon. And then they decided to make, Then they decided to make a train simulator game. And I swear, this game came out in 1995 and was released on every single console known to humankind from that time up until now. I'll just run through a couple of them. It is for the PC, the PS1, PS2, PS3, the Wonder Swan.
The what?
The Wonder Swan.
What is that?
Oh, it was a unavailable console in the 32-bit era. Let's see, the Game Boy Color, the N64 had a version, the Sega Saturn had a version, Dreamcast, Neo Geo Pocket Color. Yes, the Neo Geo.
Are you just saying words now, or
Yeah.
are these actual real things?
Oh, the Neo Geo is fantastic.
I've heard of the Neo Geo, but Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Yes, they came
just-
out during the Dreamcast time.
Yep, there was the Dreamcast, I had that. PSP, Wii, Nintendo DS, and they've recently come out with mobile versions. But it never really made it to the States.
No.
I'm not sure exactly why. Yes.
Well,
We don't
if
have
I remember,
research.
there's actually a series called Catch the A-Train, which I almost think is
Clone of-
this.
Right.
And
It's,
that probably came out like 2 or 3 of them here.
yeah, it's clone-ish. I mean, there's also the Microsoft like train simulator that has boats like this, but this franchise was not that well received. Close enough, or maybe you ran out of time.
Yeah, we
I think you died.
There's
Oh,
a
well.
30-second gap between the time.
Yeah.
If you go, 30 seconds.
And it's counting down to basically 0. So
Let me try.
yeah, go ahead and try the train game. But yeah, this is basically just one of those games that really just didn't have a market. Yeah, that's the neutral position. And optimally, what you want to do, by the way, you can, as you can see, there's a speedometer right there. You want to keep it around 60 kilometers per hour. If you go above that level, the different passengers will start complaining because they're starting to fear for their life for some reason. And also, like when you go around corners, you are expected to kind of slow it down so you don't accidentally whip people against the wall and all that kind of stuff. All of this factors into a ridiculous rating system that at the very end, as you can see, that 30 right there is like number of points you're basically spending. You don't want that to go down to 0. Every time you're penalized, it's 5 points off. And this game is all about memorizing this route. And the route gets more difficult as you like go, like that was under underpasses. You go into tunnels like this one ahead. It'll say something that I don't know what it says. I just roared through the tunnel, but apparently I guess it didn't like something about that. Oh yeah, you can blow the whistle and that kind of stuff. Maybe you're supposed to blow the whistle in the tunnel in case, I don't know, there's, vagrants or something living there, more people living there. You know, you don't want to run them over. So,
No. Who cares about the mole people?
right? And so, nice. So yeah, that's basically this game. This is one of those, like, it never really made it to America, but the next one that I really want to get to, yeah, we're going to check out LSD next. Who wants to go after that one? Just real quick. Who wants to try this game? Now that we have games working, you want to give it a shot? All right.
Yeah, right after this.
Right after this, we got to see if we can pull into the station. Also, you can see right to the side, that's where your train is. You want to stop it right, oh no. Oh, you also braked a little hard, that took off some points.
Like, I care. I don't know what any of this is saying.
Yeah, the passengers are having to walk in the dirt to get into their train.
Hey, at least the train got to them.
Right, it got there.
It didn't get to them last time, so at least it got to them.
Right. All right, so there you go. That's
Be
there
happy.
you go. So let me go ahead and power down really quick.
All right.
And let's go ahead and try out the next one. Since we're going out of order, why not? Let's do this one, because I could talk all day about LSD. The game.
It sounds like it's
Can we-
very
can-
trippy.
By the way, can we play LSD with the
It
train?
would be impossible to play, so I'm going to switch out the controllers
I
really
was gonna
quick.
say, like, I think I got it, guys. This moves me one way, I think, maybe.
Technically, the train controller probably seemed to fit right in with the game.
Yep, mine yet. All right, okay, started it up. Let's see if I have to do a hard reset again.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Let's go ahead and plug in this controller.
And we'll try it.
Yep, we'll give this a shot.
What do I have to do with the?
Oh, just hand it to me. I'll put it to the side. But thank you for assisting and also entertaining the audience while I was fumbling around with equipment.
You're fine. Let's get this. Make sure this thing.
Yeah, it should be on right now.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do the hard reset. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. Okay,
Mississippi 4, Mississippi
Okay.
5, Mississippi whatever, Mississippi.
Fine.
right.
Cameron.
Yeah, it's going to take a second. There it goes. Let's
Okay.
check out this intro. So go ahead and come on up since you want to play this. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so how you play this game, you just move around it. But yeah, this intro is just, it really gives a good foundation of where this game goes. Also, look at all the different like titles of the game. Go ahead, Madison.
Okay, where's she?
Just right there, so you can see the screen in there.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry, this isn't like, you don't have to worry about like the frames not syncing up or anything like that. It's not a Street Fighter or Smash or anything like that,
So nothing
yeah,
that.
no, it's not that.
Wow, this thing is so old, it doesn't even have a,
No.
the...
Analog sticks, no, these are PlayStation 1. So there you go. That was the intro for LSD that just is a thing. And let's see if we get this beautiful title screen. There you go. So it counts like the number of days that you've actually gone through this. And after a certain number of days, you can do what's called flashback mode, which will take you to one of the previous days. It doesn't play it for you automatically, but it basically sets the random seed. So you could possibly experience a dream the second time, but not always. Go ahead and hit start.
Okay. Sure, chat.
And-
Really cool.
First pollution.
Or
Now
X.
this. This isn't the
It is
inconvenient
not
truth.
working.
All right, that might be the Dutch controller.
Yeah, this is the...
There it goes. I just had to hit all the buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you had to hit circle.
Oh, that's right. This is an old PlayStation game, so circle was going forward. Okay, so I went ahead and just hit into this, and I'm sorry that you can't hear like all the sound effects. I'm going to turn this up as much as possible.
So I
So
just
you
like...
just walk around.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can
I
I
really.
just walk completely forward?
Yeah, just walk forward, and turning around, you just have to use left and right. And so now she's touched something, so it takes you into a new part of the dream.
I touched the window.
Yeah. And so it's kind of hard to see, but it is actually nighttime out. in this version, sometimes the different locations are like daytime or afternoon. The textures for that, it just looks like stone or whatever. But sometimes when you get to this location, it'll change the textures. Like as you start experiencing more days in this, it feels like your brain starts melting more. It's very strange.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All can cans can be really easy made with this game.
Right. Also, if you hold X, you can run.
Oh, okay.
So you can run through the dream and that kind of stuff. And usually a dream lasts maybe around 10 minutes or so, or unless you die. You can die in these dreams.
Yeah, I saw a video where it had enemies and stuff on it.
Yeah, that's a different part. So if you want to just go to like another part of the dream, just run into something.
I'm trying to hit this one doorway that I thought I saw over here.
But you hit the corner, now where's it going to take you? Yeah, I want you to see some of these vistas because it's crazy as you get through some of this. And even the sound effects get bizarre. Okay. Well, okay, this is some sort of town with a green sky?
Oh god!
What is
What
that?
are those things?
It's called you run away from it because it might kill you.
Like I said, I've been playing this game for like 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Like every time I play this, it's something different.
I should probably look where I'm going.
And a lot of times for my game design students, I'll like make them play this game. It's like, okay, forget everything you know about like what you consider a game. Play this because it's so strange. And if like parts of the dream get scary, yeah, you just run into walls and that kind of stuff, and then you get transported into a new dream, or sometimes not. Yeah, the systems, there's no rhyme or reason to half of this stuff.
Yeah, like an actual dream.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, 3 designers actually made this. Here's the thing. Since I didn't get to... Oh, wow, you're having a really terrifying dream. So now you're in just this dark street. Looks like something's in front of you. It's a headless woman or something?
Oh dear.
It's hard to see
Yeah.
on the screen over.
Yeah, it's hard to see actually here too. I don't know, run away from it.
I'm trying to. I can't move.
Oh, you can't?
No.
Oh, maybe it's a bad dream or something. Weird. Oh, okay, you're able to turn. But let me also give you some other information about this. This game came out in 1998. And I think, honestly, besides the strangeness of the game, that was also the reason why it never got a release in America. And it really just is mostly a cult hit. So if you're not aware, 1998 is usually heralded as like one of the best years in video game history. You had games like Half-Life that came out that year, StarCraft, Resident Evil 2, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and then this game as well. It released October 22nd of 1998, and yeah, it only stayed in Japan. It's also kind of, it's also kind of a rare game, because believe it or not, it didn't sell well. People really didn't know what to make of this thing. But also, the producer of this game, or publisher I should say, was like Asmik Ace. And I think some of you might know a few of their games that they actually made. Like, for instance, Lester the Unlikely. Yeah, that is a historically bad game if you play through it. Also, they were part of the Aki team who made all those amazing wrestling games for the N64, like WCW versus NWO Revenge, WWF No Mercy. And then they made this game. Oh, another one that they actually produced was Cutie Suzuki, No Ringside Angel. The thing about Cutie Suzuki is if you're a wrestling fan like I am, and you remember WCW World War III 1994, it was like one of the first and only times she actually wrestled in America. She was in a tag team match for, anyway, I'm not going to go into that. I'll do another panel on wrestling stuff. But she was also involved in Holy Cow. All right, so there's this level. But she was also involved in some softcore, well, you could probably guess. But anyway, they helped produce that game as well.
The train simulator.
So the whole point of this game...
I think that's a Mickey
Dude,
Mouse.
can we go back to the train simulator?
Like I said, these are forgotten games, and I really want to go on the weird factor on these.
You we got weird.
Yeah, this is that love.
Oh dear.
And this is still just the first dream. Wow.
Are
Oh,
you-
no, that's the end of it. At the very end, you're given this like rating scale that makes no sense. It was a downer dream and kind of static-ish. No idea what it means. Like even reading through the translated like guide for this, it still doesn't explain anything. I think it randomly just picks a dot half the time.
This person might be a psychologist.
Yeah,
These
maybe.
three people. apparently.
Very possible. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get to the other games really quickly, just to make sure you can see all the rest of this. Oh yeah, sometimes this is your dream. They'll just play random videos.
Oh.
No idea.
Like, are they-
So okay, I'll do a poll really quick. You want to see Sweet Home or Umahara Kawase? Because I think we may have time for one or the other.
The Super Nintendo game.
Sweet Home? Okay, we'll do Sweet Home. Thank you for helping me demo this. So, okay, I'm glad y'all said Sweet Home. That's one of my favorite games of all time.
Sorry, when I heard of Resident Evil, I was definitely hooked.
Yeah, it's... All right, let me go ahead and switch this out. Now that I know I just have to hard reset it, this should be really easy. I say that, and I'm going to be probably wrong in a second. All right, so... Once again, this version of Sweet Home is the fan translated version. It just doesn't really make sense to bring in the actual like Famicom version, unless like someone wanted to come up and narrate just really quick. But let's not
Or we
test
can ad
our
lib
luck.
what they're saying on the screen. Make it into a comedy instead.
There you go.
You mean like Ghost Stories? Good?
I'm actually watching that. It's actually really good. The dub's good.
The dub's beautiful.
I finished episode 9, and I still have some.
Okay, I know why it's doing this. Every time I turn it on, it refreshes. Okay, so hopefully, come on, Betsy. Don't do this to me, baby. There we go. Sweet Home. Okay, who wants to give this one a shot? Because this is definitely one of these crazy, crazy games. Oh, all right, come up here, Damien. Try to give everybody a shot at some of these. And don't worry, I'll have them around and stuff like that if you want to keep playing. What's the next panel after this, by the way?
It's the other half of the con.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, here you go, grab
What's
this.
that one for?
And I'll go ahead and talk about this game. Go ahead and hit press start to get started. Now, like I said, this is heralded as, honestly, one of the first survival horror games. And it was, you know, I'm going to make a couple of, like, accusations as well about this game. So, hopefully, if y'all have arguments, we can talk about that afterwards. This is arguably one of the best movie-to-game adaptations ever.
Wait, this is based on a movie?
It was based on a movie, yes.
Which was horrible.
Yeah, that's the thing. The movie was bad, but the game is insanely good. Here's the thing. The gameplay-wise, you actually control... You control basically this team of 5 characters. You can group them together in teams of 2 and 3, and each one has like a different ability. For instance, let's see, Kazu has the lighter, Emi has a lockpick, Akiko has medicine, Taro has the camera, and Asuka has the vacuum cleaner because she's the maid. And you basically use this to wander around this haunted house. The whole plot of the movie was this artist went missing over 30 years ago, and his mansion is dilapidated, but they say that there's these paintings, these frescoes, all this kind of stuff that's still in this house. So they want to figure out, like, you know, go around, preserve these paintings and that kind of stuff, and basically make a documentary. So that's why you have the photographer, because you have to go around taking pictures of these different frescoes. But then you learn why the artist actually went missing. And no spoilers, I'm not going to go through that. But I will say this. The big reason this was never released in America is because, especially at that time, Nintendo of America was very strict when it came to the imagery. You couldn't have gory imagery, you couldn't have religious imagery, which both of those are in here. And when your character dies in this game, there's no revives at all. They are dead. Also, when they do die, it's a very graphic and gory death most of the time. And there is one twist. I'm just going to say that. It comes out of nowhere, and it's probably one of the most disturbing scenes that they depict in very graphic detail on the NES. So that's why it never actually came to America.
That's not cool considering it's fake fish.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing was, the movie itself, like, the director of the movie closely worked with Capcom. And I'm not going to go into, like, Capcom games. I think everybody knows what Capcom made. But he worked really close with it so that the story and the game tie to it. And actually, the game enhances the story a little bit more because it goes into more of the backstory of each one of the characters. This is really deep of a game that come out in 1989. It's crazy to think about that. But, oh, by the way, just I want to go around and see what's happening. I will say this, if you want to get past the first level, find a room with a painting and take a picture of it. Anyway, this movie was directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa, who was involved with the making of it. No, it's not the same Kurosawa, not that one. But he also directed some other movies, mostly horror movies. I think probably the most known one that he did was Pulse. From 2001, it was the Cannes Film Festival. It was like a lot of collection horror, like shorts and that kind of stuff. Really good movie.
It got remade in the U.S.
Yeah.
Internet Ghost.
Yeah, that's right, and not so good. But his first movie that he ever directed was Kanagawa Pervert Wars, which was this is strange, a lot of these have like porno connections for half of these games, I swear. But that was apparently the first movie that he made, and then he made Sweet Home and some other ones like throughout there, etc., etc. But yeah. Also,
Yeah,
this game is one of
the maid to vacuum up that glass.
Yeah, there you go. So,
Yeah.
let's see. You have random encounters, which it works kind of like the Ultima games for the NES, where it's his first person's perspective. You choose your different attacks. One of the things that's really tough about this is the menuing system, but you only had a limited number of buttons on the Nintendo, so you just kind of had to like make these menus in that way.
I mean, it's kind of like the first Dragon Warrior game.
It
on
really
NES.
plays like Dragon Warrior. Yeah, it definitely does. Also, this is one of the few NES games that has QuickTime events. It can be argued that this had some of the first ever QuickTime events that your characters can accidentally spring traps, and then once that happens, you have to hit buttons in a certain direction. If you don't do it, your character dies. So you have to be on your toes all the time. Let's see. And yeah, that's basically this game. If you ever get a chance to get this, and I do recommend actually buying the fan like sub version just to support that community, you know, so they can release more games like this. Because there's tons of games that I was actually like thumbing through that I wanted to show off. It's like, this one won't show very well, etc., etc. But definitely support that community. But if you were to get an emulator or something like that and try it out on there, test this game out. It's incredible. So yeah, oh, now you're in the
You
house.
only have one
I
person
think
in
that
your
room
party.
is the one with the fresco.
Yeah, you only have one person in your party. You need to go back
Yeah.
and get some other.
But it's
people.
also kind of complicated a little bit. Yeah, you have to like convince other people to join the party and that kind of such. But the one with the camera, I think her name is Taro. Yeah, you have to get Taro, and then Taro has to take a picture. And there you go. Now you have multiple people that you carry around with you. And so your teams can be 2 or 3. It's always a good idea to group them in 2 or 3. If they get separated, it's not very good. Anyway, I'm going to have to get off the stage pretty soon, so the next talk comes in. Thank y'all for like bearing with like some of the technical issues that we kind of faced here, but you know, I'll have this stuff out somewhere if y'all want to test some of these games.
There's the gaming room you can set up.
I can probably grab them, head there, and do that kind of stuff if y'all want to test some of this stuff out. I'm sorry we didn't get to actually play Umahara Kawase, but yeah, thanks y'all for coming, and I had a great time. So thank you.